Hello, everyone. We're all bots, so I just don't know it yet. Later, Weasel. Hi, guys. How are we doing? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm a little eepy. I'm a little sweepy eepy baby. How's everyone doing today? Good morning. We are working on our Mass Effect TTRPG because we haven't done that in like 2 weeks, and I feel guilty about it. Uh-oh. The guilt. The guilt! Good morning. What's up, Sithy? Hello, JJ. Hi, Kuicho. Hi, Ad. Hi, Lumix. Hope everyone has had a good weekend. The voices! Me, all the time. The voices! I hope everyone has had a good weekend. We had our... Oh my god, waffle. Believe in Mary. I believe in you. You are capable of greatness and also goodness, also sinister evil, and also fun. Thank you, Raffle. That means a lot, actually. It's such sinister evil. Great so far. Good to hear. We had our little our Tales from the Loop one-shot yesterday. So I've been running little one-shots every month for the community and the Discord, and we had our Tales from the Loop one yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I hope everyone else who played had a lot of fun as well. This is daytime and we can be visible. That's true. That was one of the plot points. They interacted with a machine that turned them invisible during the nighttime, and they had to figure that out. But I had a lot of fun. Much enjoyment was had. Good to hear. Good to hear. And I've been thinking about what to do. For the next one. We have Chunky is going to be running a Jurassic Park one shot next month as well. But I'm also going to run one so that we can hang out. Since I can't go to GaryCon anymore, we're going to run one. So I feel like I'm at the con. Troy is moving to Alaska so he can be invisible for half the year. Vampires! Was that 30 Days of Night? Period con. Vampire laser. Daywalkers. That fucking killed me. Just the daywalkers. Anyway, we have we've done quite a bit with this, I will say. We have established our attributes and our skills. We have established most of the species that we're going to be working with. I do still want to add Drell, Geth. I think someone asked to add the Volus, so we might add like the Volus. But we've done pretty much all of the basic council races. So we've got obviously human, Asari, Krogan, Solarian, Hurrian, Quarian, and then we want to add Geth and Drell. I do like the Drell. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, we definitely need to add the Drell. We have established our classes, so we're using pretty much the basic classes. Sorry, are the blue telekinetic big titty? Yes. No ears, but big titties. Tentacle heads. Not sure how eyebrows work. Tattooed on? Question mark. So we've got the Adept, the Soldier, Engineer, Vanguard, Sentinel, Infiltrator. And within each of these are talents that you can pick. So how it works is during character creation, you're going to choose your race, and you get pick one talent for your race. And then you choose your archetype, your class, and then you're going to pick 2 talents for your archetype. And then you get your attribute points to distribute, you get your health and resolve, you get your skills. And then kind of the personality traits is more along the lines of RP during the session and sort of ways to gain extra XP during the session. And then we sort of established, last time we established experience points and spending the XP and how you can level up certain things. So it's not going to be like you level up and you get to, you level up your health and you get like a skill or something. It's going to be just your leveling up is spending XP. There's something about Asari fingers, if I remember. I imagine so. I trust you on that. I don't remember, but I trust your recollection of events. And we were gonna work on the specializations. However, I kind of want to gear away from character creation for a bit and sort of think about like the base building, because I do want that to be a pretty I want it to be an optional feature, but I do want it to be a feature that people can utilize. Maybe just my old age kicking in. I've got like ADHD, so my memory is really bad sometimes. I trust that you remember correctly, Sithy. Sometimes people will be like, hey, Miri, do you remember this thing that happened? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I don't remember the thing that happened. They just say that so they can stick one up there during space witches. I don't think that it would take a lot of convincing for most people. You know? Hitting 2? We're using 2? Base building. We're just gonna use that for the interim. Adjacent. Very cool. So I admittedly, base building is probably something that like my TTRPG building chops are the weakest at, just because I don't usually put a whole lot of thought into base building in like video games or TTRPGs. But I do want it to be like, I feel like, you know, being able to like upgrade your ship and stuff should be something that's in a Mass Effect TTRPG. She said, sorry, I didn't ask permission. What's a finger amongst lovers? A good time. What's the aim for base building mechanic in this game? So there's going to be, so it's basically like you're building your ship and like upgrading your ship. So the whole point would be to make sure your ship is upgraded, because I think like space combat could be fun. Again, this is something that could be completely optional to you and your players. It's not something that you would have to do. It'd be like sort of an optional feature if like you would prefer to play more on the ground sort of combat and encounters. But I think having like a base building mechanic for those people who actually might want to use sort of more of space combat, ship combat, would be pretty fucking dope. I'm not good at base building. I let Mary and Joel do that for me. I love building a little house. I love building a little house in Minecraft. I'm out here making a house, planting flowers, decorating. I love the idea of fighting off-borders from your own ship in between planet-side missions. I'm just trying to think of what the gameplay hook would be to entice players to participate. True. Yeah, I would say that's a good point, Creature, too, and like, why would people want to participate in it? I feel like there are people, and the reason like I was thinking about this, because I feel like there are people who would want that, like, just because that's something that they're interested in. So like they would want like sort of a base building opportunity in the game. But I also don't want to make it a mandatory feature where people have to people have to do this in order to play the game. So I feel like that's something that can like really kind of deter me from certain TTRPGs, like mechanics that are being forced upon me that I'm like, I don't actually have an interest in this aspect of the game. I just want to do this aspect of the game. Might you attract you flowers? Or yeah, that's true. I mean, returning to the ship should at least be between action levelings. Yeah. It's kind of like akin to like your downtime being on the ship. I'll get the resources. You make it look... Oh, sometimes I think about Subnautica and my heart starts racing. Hey, Jetman, how's it going? I use the ship as a scene setter and quest receiving location, but also you could have people who take more diplomatic approach to coalition building, spend more time in the ship, and or in communication / out of combat. I like that. He's going. I'm waiting for my food to get here too. I'm hungry. So let's write that down. What would draw people to use this mechanic? Downtime. I'm gonna say scene setter, like Raffle said. Diplomatic approaches. Hey, Z. It's easy to use the ship as a downtime, which is basically what it was in the game. Yeah. I would imagine that you'd want the mechanic to confer nominal benefits that would not upset the balance of the game, yet give players a sense of satisfaction that they've taken agency to improve their likelihood of success across a number of potential ventures. That was so corporate, Creature. That was so corporate, and I loved every second of it. Their potential ventures. I think that so, like, let's say that you, because I'm thinking about it now, I think it would be fun to do, like, you know how, like, you can get, like, the upgrades by going and, like, finding resources? I think a cool thing would be to have, like, if you upgrade the ship, you increase, like, the amount of resources that you're able to gather. So, like, you'd be able to you'd be able to like acquire more probes, and you'd be able to like probe the planets. Wink. Like a well-rested buff or a roughing it debuff. Maybe something like that. Take the corporal rat out of the corporation. You give a man a rat, you fulfill his rat needs and wants. So, seems to be a lot of probing in this game. That's the appeal, Sippy. Upgrading ship could allow for quicker / more plentiful what's the word? Acquiring resources for future resources for personal character upgrades. Probing is a thing. It's my favorite. It is my favorite minigame. Mass Effect 2, where you get to probe the planets. Just set me in front of a computer and let me do that for 7 hours. I'm in it, dude. Someone says they're not okay with probing in session 0, then we're screwed. What if we tell them that there's probing and they get really excited and they find out it's actually just probing planets for resources, and then they're like, oh, so, like, no butt stuff? Is that our fault? Is that an us problem? Tier of weapons. Yeah, tier of weapons, armor, and ship upgrades. Only accessible to base building. I want my Asari to contact their spy network to get more intel on the next mission. I want my Torian to practice weapons. I want my Krogan to meditate and gain XP. And then, like, your captain could ask for installing new capacitors and lasers and sending a probe. You would need some kind of action economy to determine logistics, how much logistic stuff you can do. But at the end, you throw all the players into a scene where the Turian walks in sweaty on a meditating Krogan. The Asari is trying to talk on the comms when their argument interrupts the captain during probing time. I like that, like, little scenario too. Upgrading ship could also lead to establishing contacts. War room. This is making me think of, so in Dragon Age Inquisition, you get war room table missions. So these are like little side quests where you're not actually physically going to anything, but you're assigning advisors to do these quests for you, and each of them has their own benefits and downfalls. And that's kind of making me think of that, of to like do like these little tiny missions that like you don't actually need to like go out and do, but you're sending someone else in your stead to do them. And depending on who you send, it could either be a successful mission or a not successful mission, or kind of in the middle where you gain something but you also lose something at the same time. Ooh, I like that. Government, corporate contracts based on specific industrial / scientific endeavors. I like that a lot as well. Like if you make you could upgrade your ship to be more of a science, like research based ship. Like if that's kind of what you wanted to do. Like if that's kind of what your party is leaning more towards, rather than like more like battle combat endeavors. So you would get more, be able to acquire more of those science research missions because of that. I'm envisioning a lot of passive resource generation based on decision making. Also use the same mechanics, the logistics, turn economy to cover non-combat social missions that occur on Citadel or elsewhere. Maybe we could open a Jojimar. Good thing now. Thanks for lurking. Yeah, I like the idea that it like, and again, this is like stuff that could be like completely optional, where like you don't have to get this like in depth into it, but I think for those who really kind of want that little bit of crunch, I think that's where the crunch is going to come for this particular like setting, is that building out your ship and establishing like your reputation. Industrial production or scientific research. Let me look up elements. There's a bunch of different elements, and I don't know if I want to include all of them. Obviously, there's a bunch of different elements. You know, obviously, there's a bunch of different elements. We have an entire periodic table about them. But there's like a bunch of different elements that you can collect in Mass Effect, and each of them sort of have a different purpose. You make up elements as well. That's true. Unobtainium. I don't want Mass Effect Andromeda. I want Mass Effect the trilogy, you stupid bitch. So we've got like different elements. So I would say element 0 would basically be a buff to like science, because that's all about like the Mass Effect fields. Specifically, it's actually medicinal. I don't want to say medicinal. That means like that. When I say medicinal, it kind of makes me think like voodoo medicine. Advanced medicine. Fuck out of my face. That's true. Basis for campaign. Because that's basically what, like, Element 0 is basically, kind of what kickstarted, the discovery, humanity's discovery of Element 0, kind of, boosted them in terms of, like, spacefaring endeavors. We're all are hard of hearing, so she's basically screaming into the... I get that. My grandmother has a hearing aid, so like whenever I talk to her, I have to like talk really loud. And let's scan it. Go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've got like an actual like thing. Hold on. This is from Mass Effect 2. So Element 0 is used for biotic and engineering upgrades. Iridium, used to upgrade assault rifles, submachine guns, and heavy weapons. Palladium, used to upgrade cybernetics, shields, heavy pistols, and armor. And then platinum, used to upgrade shotguns, sniper rifles, and medical equipment. So I think in order to make it not super overwhelming, I think that these 4 elements should probably be the ones that we use just in terms of like the base building and like probing and stuff. Just because I don't want to make it super overwhelming where you have like 20 different elements that all have different fucking purposes. Materials extraction and refining seems like easy fodder for base building. Mm-hmm. And I think what we're gonna do here is, instead of, so it's like for your own characters, you're spending XP to upgrade. And in order to upgrade the base, you're going to be spending element points. At least that's the idea. Have to think how to acquire element points. Probing planets. Big probing. Main focus for base building is that you want to give the players choice and limited means. Yes. But sometimes it can get a little fucking overwhelming. You know, where you like, you just, there's too much going on. Let's see if we can actually ship upgrades. Mass Effect. Let's see what the actual, like, art ship upgrades are. I think this is more prominent in Mass Effect 2. Yeah, you want it to be, you want them to feel that, like, bit of, like, satisfaction from, like, actually putting in the time and the effort to doing these things, but you also don't want it to be, like, pointless. So it's like, you want to have, like, the payoff be good. Good enough that it's not, like, game-breaking. So You like that ASMR, guys? That good for you? The crinkle. Hi, Artie. Technically, you just heard him. That could be like any bird. Confirmation bias. Maybe like the armory. So upgrading your ship kind of gives you access to better weapons. Like better contracts for weapons, maybe? Steal Peter's rat tank blueprints and weaponize them? Duh. I like that. That is such like a sentence no one would absolutely like. What are you talking about? LGBT. It's a croissant. On croissant. It's chocolate. On chocolate croissant, guys. Take a bite. Everyone take a bite. I also have a muffin. I always had like a sweet tooth this morning. I was like, I want something sweet for breakfast. So then I ordered everything sweet. Second time you've been accused of GPT. Well, stop acting like a GPT. As easy as that. You cannot have. It has chocolate in it. I think I got it in my hair. Okay. Chocolate hair. The problem of having a lot of hair is stuff just gets stuck in it sometimes. And that's just my life. Get out of here, dude. Macy likes to just put her little snoot on my chair when I'm eating. Like, I have some? No, you can't. It's not for puppies. I say armory or like weapons lab. I can't describe it, but this drink smells like a man. That's all I got. A dungeon. Oh, what if you do like, Theo and beer? No. It's like it's a chai latte, but it's got like, I don't know. Maisie, quiet. Holding cells? Like, what if you guys want to like do like what if you guys want to be like bounty hunters, you know? Feel like that's something you could totally do. Is like you could just be fucking bounty hunters. You need holding cells to be bounty hunters. Or play good cop, bad cop, or just like for fun. Wink. I'm the bad cop. Wink. So I think in terms of like, I think that probably only one base at a time. And that's for mostly, I'd imagine, like the GM's sanity. Upgrade the captain's quarters. Let's say quarters upgrade. I think now here's the thing. Do we want to have it where only certain amount of upgrades can be applied? So that we don't like, we want to make people to sort of force them to like kind of narrow in on what they think that their whole shtick is. So let's say 3. Yes, make the players make decisions. And it kind of forces them to like, okay, are we gonna give priority more towards like beefing up our actually like beefing up the ship for like combat? Are we gonna more go towards, you know, like research exploration? Are we gonna put like points into like the science lab, you know, the probe bay? Are we gonna put more towards like the war room so that we can have like a council or like advisors and do all of these sort of side missions that are gonna garner us like maybe like reputation and resources? So I like the idea of having them. There has to be trade-offs, yes, for the decisions to matter. Exactly. Yep. By yourself. Only a certain amount of upgrades can be applied. I'm gonna say 3. I think 3 is like a good number. Each upgrade has a tier levels. I'm gonna say 1 to 5. I think that gives you like a pretty decent range where you can have like very basic things, and then if you upgrade the if you advance the upgrade to like tier 5, that gives you like the best sort of materials, the best like weapons and armor that you could possibly get. Yeah, I can always refinish the gameplay. Yeah. We're just kind of getting down like the basics of what kind of just how it works. Like I can go into like the minutia and like go in and like name all of the different types of armor you can put on your ship. But I think just trying to figure out how it works right now is the goal. Doesn't mean you can't add more later. True. Like, maybe it can be where you have, like, you're given sort of like your level 1 ship. Like, this is, you're just starting out. This is your very basic ship. And you're only able to put like 3 upgrades on that. And then let's say you like, down the road, like, you make a lot of money and you're able to buy a better ship that's like just better quality, like going from like a normal like star freighter to like the Normandy. So then you're able to add like 4 or 5 upgrades. Remove rust. I love this woman, but I have so many questions. Does she watch it on like TikTok or something? Is she on the TikTok-y? Normandy S tier. Base ship. Here's spelled that wrong. It's literally right there, and I still spelled it wrong. Base ship, different tiers. Higher tiers can be bought as fruit requires resources, allowing for more upgrades to be applied. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me, and I'll finagle that. And like your ship has a tiger. I think that I would allow that. I think that tigers are fun. However, I think that the tiger also has the ability to get loose and kill everyone on the ship. Why'd you never tell her about it? Ah, that's really fucked up. Meow meow. Biotic tiger, random event. Roll on the random event table. Biotic tiger? What? You hear a roar in the distance. That is an excellent question. Does she know what rust actually is? Don't look at me. Get away from me. Let me eat my croissant in peace. Oh my god. A bunch of dog. It is. That's true. Just one metal fuzzy. Who's to say? You know, I have this note here, Basin-styled HQ upgrades for ship. Let me open Basin. See what I have there. Pretty sure I've got the PDF for Vaesen. Let's be honest, I've got the PDF for a lot of RPGs. Educate your mom about science. Okay. Why does it do this? It could. It could be a whole separate game. I feel like I could do like what could this be? It's like a supplement. We can also say engines. Life support. Interesting to think how the life support upgrade might work. What's up, Curtis? How's it going? Just so you know, we were only one. Hell yeah, that's so exciting. I know. I was just talking about how I'm gonna do like a little game with some of my community members during GaryCon, just because I'm like, so I can feel like I'm there. Could be one thing, system redundancy. I like the idea of having it where, certain upgrades are locked behind requirements. I'm really excited for people to like see the character sheet. That's like very exciting for me. And I'm glad it like you guys liked it and it turned out so good. As I was agonizing over it. Yeah, I was happy to help, man. It was so much fun working with y'all. It was nice to like kind of flex my chops a little bit. I don't really get to do like those sort of kind of the character sheet design stuff very often. So it was really nice to be able to do that. It's 2020. So I should be, hopefully, fingers crossed, I should be able to go next year. So this year was something with work where it happens like every like 4 to 5 years and it just fell on just the worst fucking time. But thanks so much. Thanks for popping in. Y'all let me know if you need anything else from me. Try to go next year. Hell yes, City. We can actually set up some like in-person games. Mandatory team building and trust exercises are not to be besmirched. Too bad. I'm like looking through I'm looking through one of the basin upgrades, and one of the upgrades for your base is self-flagellation tools, which is hilarious. Hi, Curtis. Chair upgrade 1, Ayo. Yeah, kind of reading through and looking at these upgrades. So some of like the benefits, the functions of these. Now, obviously, this is different because Basin is set in a completely different sort of genre setting and all of that. But you have like a butterfly house, and the function is a player character who spends a scene in the botanical garden heals 2 mental conditions. I like that. I like the thing if you build this upgrade, especially in terms of like med bay, science lab, war room, whatever. If you spend a scene in that room, you gain a benefit from that room. Certain upgrades, spending a scene in the room gives player benefit. Cuck chair with the self-flagellation attachment to whip you when they don't. Captain's cuck chair. Captain's log. Obviously, cucking is going to be a big one once we take the stars. Seems less about the scene and more that the players chose that upgrade. Yeah. So it would be like, so you have to like, so you would use your resources, get the upgrade. But let's say you, and this is just like not like definite or anything. I'm just kind of working out how it works in Vaesen to seeing if that can be applied here. So you spend the resources, the cost to build the facility, to build the upgrade. And then the whole function of the upgrade is that you can and not every facility, not every upgrade is like you have to spend a scene there. So for like the butterfly garden, it's a player character who spends a scene in the botanical garden heals 2 mental conditions. There's also a carp pond where it's like one of the player characters can gain an extra advantage before a mystery on wavering calm. And then for like the infirmary, make it possible to push all physical recovery rolls. So like that could be one for like the med bay where you can you're able to push any sort of first aid rolls. This is my favorite chair in this hotel. Oh, there's one called the Seance Parlor. So the player characters can hold a seance before a mystery and gain access to additional clues. The game master decides which one. So that would be kind of fun to include if like there was a Hey Alec! Welcome on in. Happy TTRPG brewing. So like that could be sort of used where like if maybe you go to like the war room and you're able to gather like insight before going into like a bigger mission. I can see the players celebrating or lamenting that they chose a specific upgrade over another. I think that is the target. Yes. Where they're like, oh man, I wish we had this upgrade instead, but we only have this one. How can we make this one work? Oh, what's this? Like a cargo bay / like hangar. So like you could be able to get it like on Mako. I do sound really I've made you aware of it. Should we have chosen the weapon station over the cuck chair? Truly, what was the more important experience in this moment, though? Let me see how... Hey, quiet! Maisie! Stop it! Bitch. Next slide, please. let's see the foils. Hey, Joe, thank you so much! Random Prime job, I appreciate that. Stop working. Thank you so much. Weapons are momentary, the cuck chair is forever. That's what I'm saying. So let me actually, let me see if I can actually pull this up so y'all can read along with me. Good enough. Worse. I don't know why it's off center. It's not my problem. So here's what they have for like the equipment in the headquarters for Vaesen. And this is Vaesen, we're gonna just whatever. The concept of butterfly garden in a spaceship, and then you take evasive maneuvers and the butterfly is like, wah! Wah! So there are 3 types of upgrades: facilities, contacts, and personnel. Facilities are new rooms or functions you discover or construct at headquarters. Contacts are people who can help you, and personnel are servants or new members of the society. All upgrades consist of several categories: prerequisite, cost, function, and asset. Prerequisites are the things you need before the upgrade can be purchased. Resources mean that one of the player characters must have at least this specified value. Cost is the number of development points to be spent to purchase the upgrade. Function and asset together explain the purpose of the upgrade and what effects it provides you. I want the cart pawn. The pawn would be even funnier. Each upgrade can use its function and its asset once per mystery. The only exception are in the infirmary. Why did I say it like that? Infirmary, chapel, and treasure chamber, which can be used once by each player character. For example, blah, 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 blah. The gaming group is free to come up with upgrades in addition to the ones below. So we've got armory, butterfly house, and these are the facilities. Cart pawn, infirmary, kennel, library, local tavern, map room, observatory, pigeon loft, seance parlor, shooting range. That would be kind of cool, having like a weapon range. Let me fix this. Why is she so lopsided? Just a fish hurtling through the Normandy at Mach fuck you, like the Adam Warlock meme. The Annals of Society, Weapon Corridor, Workshop. And we've got discovered facilities. These upgrades are rooms and functions that have fallen into disrepair, been walled off, or been forgotten, which I don't think really kind of applies. Gymnasium, occult archive, occult library, a lot of occult things going on here. Now we've got contacts. So we've got banker, fixer, journalist, patron, police constable, professor, psychiatrist, and then personnel. Butler, butler, Algot, Frisk, caretaker, chef, coachman, gamekeeper, gardener, guard. I kind of like having like the different ones, like the facilities, the personnel, and then the contacts. I kind of like having that. Chef? Yes, chef. Chef is in game, yes. You cook fancy dinners at the headquarters and make sure everyone is well fed. Laser chef. Vampire chef. I kind of like, I think I do like that a whole lot. Having facilities, contacts, and personnel upgrades. Fancy dinners, cuck chairs. Space sounds rad. I'd go to space. You guys hear about that asteroid that's gonna hit us? Probably. The number keeps going up, which is concerning. It like increased like double in like 2 weeks. Put us out of our, I know, right? It probably, no, so it's like it's a city killer, not like a planet killer. That is how probability works, Miri. Shut up. So it's like, I think it increased from like a 2.4 to now it's like 3.1 or something like that within the last like 2 weeks. Washington, D.C. is a prime target. I mean, if it just wants to go and smack the shit out of there, that'd be great. I think though, like the actual like trajectory, it kind of is, it most likely will land in water. We don't know what like the repercussions of like it landing in the water will be though. Please don't. I'll die. No, it's. Do you live that close to Washington D.C.? It's a city killer. It's not a. You'll be fine. Big splash. Water everywhere. I wouldn't even kill a whole. Yeah, so like I think I saw like some projections where like if it landed in like Manhattan would be fucked. But you would go out to like the other like boroughs and it would be like I think it's like a mile or two radius around it is pretty fucked. But then I'm just under an hour and a half. You're not that close then. You would not be affected. Yeah, you would live. I would say I have a house it can hit, but my kids still live with my ex. Well, I think it's not supposed to hit until like 2030 something. Yeah, you're good at. Again, city killer, not planet killer. Yeah, I mean, I've been in my history of the Earth era, so I've been learning a lot about asteroids and stuff too. Yeah, you'd also have plenty of warning. Not that like our government would probably do anything to negate the effects. Let's be honest. But you'd have warning to like flee the area, hopefully. $500 times the Hiroshima bomb, maybe. I heard you can get it bad asteroids. God damn it. Yeah, don't look up. Or look up or something like that. It had Leonardo DiCaprio in it. Timothy Chalamet. Don't look up, yeah. So daily reminder not to push too hard when you poop. If you're pushing, you're doing it wrong. I'm maxing out at 52 miles an hour. A little squatty potty action. Let's slide attitude. Okay, so I do like this idea of facilities, contacts, and personnel. So obviously, like, these would be like facilities. Will be an everyday struggle for me. Need more fiber. Slows down your digestion. Oh yeah, that does suck. Hi, Chunky! Truly never know what, like, chat's gonna, like, latch onto. Here we are talking about poop. Pooping. Oh, we are brainstorming. We're currently working out how to incorporate base building into the game. I think it's been pretty successful so far. Creature's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting with all his corporate talk. Can you respec your base? I would think so. I think that there might be a bit of a cost, like a sort of like deconstruction cost. Yeah, we were discussing the specifications of the cuck chair to go along with the self-flagellation tools. Obviously are going to be in the captain's quarters. Now, here's the thing. So right now we are allowing for 3 upgrades that can be applied for a base ship. With the additional information that will be also adding contacts and personnel upgrades. Should we still allot for 3 upgrades or should we go higher than that? I think 3 just for like a base ship is probably good. And then like as you start to, you know, get better ships that allow for better upgrades, more upgrades, I think that would be nice. Fractional resource recovery from deconstruction of facilities. Maybe the same with ship upgrades. I wouldn't mind that. I don't remember the cook chair going on in Futurama. You must have missed that episode. Analyze them a little so they make they're more critical of their decisions. True. And it's like one of those things where it's like it's not like you're like, okay, you have to upgrade your ship now. Pick an upgrade right now. It's like you can think about it, and like that's the whole point of like being able to discuss and kind of weigh those negatives and positives of what kind of upgrade you want to do. All right. I'm looking up some of the starships that can be used. Efficacy of their base/ship upgrades, kind of like a team meeting. Yes, he said corporately. Could have been an email. So I kind of wonder if there's some ship stuff in terms of Alien that I can pull from as well. I hate when like viewing a PDF, it goes to the double page thread. That pisses me off, I'm not gonna lie. You know, when we playtest this, there's going to be a random chair next to the bed in the captain's quarters. Special attention is going to be paid to the cuck chair. I'll describe the stains and everything. Captain Cook Rogers. Oh, here we go. 160. Let's bring that over here, and I will show you guys what I'm looking at. XO Cuckley has the helm. Things get real weird when XO Cuckley has the helm. Okay, so this is from... Ooh. This is from Alien. So we've got ship classes and features. Commercial craft in the 22nd century are tracked by model and weight class. So we've got these ship classes, which we could probably pull and adjust. Like here we have like crew 3 to 6. So like that would make sense. So like you'd start out with like that sort of ship where you have just enough room for you guys to be on. And then you can upgrade it. And then eventually you'll be able to upgrade to like a class M ship. And then ideally, once you start getting like an actual crew going, you would want like a class R ship, which would be able to house 12 to 18 people. And I like that it kind of describes the armaments and modules that you'd be able to have as well. So that would be like different types of armor and shielding and stuff. I don't know that we're gonna really worry about FTL or anything like that because we do have the Mass Effect relays, so here are the ship attributes. FTL rating denotes how many days it takes for the ship to travel 1 parsec. Signature determines how difficult it is for enemies to lock onto their sensors. And I think I might pull a lot in terms of combat, because I think there's some ship combat for this. You get so crunchy with it. I know. And like, that's something I want to offer to people if they really want to get super crunchy. You know? Because like, some people really enjoy the crunch. I like crunch in like bite-sized morsels. Thrusters is modification to get your piloting rolls when maneuvering the ship. Hull, how much damage the ship can take before becoming disabled. Armor, the armor rating of the ship. Armaments, the number of armaments of each size the ship can be fitted with. And then modules, the number of internal modules of each size. I kind of like that. I like that the difference between armaments and modules. So armaments are obviously going to be like the weaponry, like cannons or something that you put on the ship. Whereas like the modules are like the weapons lab, the science lab, things like that. Yeah, don't gotta wait until it's fully baked to play it. They don't call me climbable crunchy for nothing. They don't. I rarely do crunchy TTRPGs. Okay. I kind of like this. Core components of a ship cannot easily be replaced, but they can be upgraded. So the hull, spaceship frames, typically consist of bonded alloy and composite beams. These materials provide enough strength for massive acceleration while remaining flexible enough to withstand atmospheric entry for ships with planetfall capacity. The structural strength of a spaceship is measured by its hull rating, which in turn determines how much damage it can take before becoming disabled. Armor. Exterior ship bulkheads are typically fitted with laminated insulators, micrometeorite shielding, composite materials, and aerogel. Military ships tend to have heavier armor than civilian vessels, but a direct hit from a railgun will slice through any ship armor invented. The armor of a spaceship is measured by its armor rating, which works in a similar way as armor on vehicles or personnel. So armor rating for in terms of like the Alien RPG is, so if you get hit for 5 points of damage and you have an armor rating of 3, you subtract the 3 from the 5, so you only take 2 damage. Special attack that might yeah, that'd be really cool too. Like having like I think cloaking or EMP burst. Yeah. And like cloaking is a thing in Mass Effect, so bridge. The bridge is the brain of the ship. Sensors, communications, and engines are controlled from the bridge. The ship commander and pilot are stationed here. Sensor. I kind of want to like use a lot of these because this builds out a lot of like stuff that like is kind of only like touched upon in Mass Effect in terms of like ships and everything. So sensors, spaceships can be fitted with a range of sensors of different types. They are broadly divided into passive sensors such as optical, infrared, and radio telescopes, and active sensors such as wave radar arrays. Read more about sensors and their use on page 190. Full adventures could be recovering alien tech, discovering its functioning, and adapting its use on the ship. Research module. Yeah. So that would be like, you'd want to like make sure that you have like your like science lab upgraded for that. And then maybe like you would want to have like a contact, be like a xeno-archaeologist or something. You know, like someone who like is familiar with like the culture or whatever of the alien tech. Communications array. Spaceships are fitted with a range of antenna and relays, some for interstellar FTL communications and others for intra-system communications. Reactor spaceships, and this doesn't really matter because we're not in that time period, are generally powered by fusion reactors. Military ships typically use powdered lithium hydride as fuel, while civilian vessels use heavy hydrogen isotopes like deuterium and tritium. Sublight thrusters. Sublight propulsion is generated by rocket motors powered directly by the fusion reactor. Reaction mass, such as industrial carbon diamond, is simply placed in contact with fusion plasma, which heats it. I like the amount of like thought that like went into this is crazy. The heated gas is then expelled via the rocket motors. The thrusters rating of your ship functions as bonus to your piloting skills. Displacement drives faster than light propulsion is provided by a tachyon shunt hyperdrive powered by the reactor, accelerating the vessel past the light barrier. The FTL rating of your ship indicates how many days it takes to traverse 1 parsec. A lower rating means a faster ship. So much story rating that's baked into these gameplay, right? A game centered around exploration of the Andromeda Galaxy. Yeah. Like we've talked about like kind of like where we can kind of go with these with this type of like game and stuff, and just like this world, because there is so much like lore for Mass Effect where like you don't even have to do anything like during like the trilogy. You could do things like in the past. You could do First Contact War. You could do like if you wanted to do like a full like party of Krogan, you do like the Krogan rebellions, like anything. Go kill all these monkeys. Monkey. We all learned something about physics and engineering during the course of trying to include in-depth spaceship upgrade gameplay mechanics. Be right back. I gotta go research some astrophysics. And then internal modules. So internal modules come in different sizes and are divided into size categories with Roman numerals. A size 1 module is the size of a personal vehicle, while size 5 modules are as big as large buildings. A ship can hold up to a certain number of modules of each size. It's possible to fit a smaller module into a slot for a bigger one, but not the other way around. The modules described below are listed in the table on page 172, which also includes capacities and prices. So I kind of like that, and like having in terms like if you're going to be starting with, and we won't call it a Class G vessel, but if you're going to be starting with a Class G vessel, then it's like you're only able to have 1 size 2 armament, 2 size 1 armaments, 3 size 3, 5 size 2, 7 size 1. And I imagine that's like Endor. Like, I imagine it's like you can either do, maybe? I might be reading that wrong. I feel like that's a lot. No, it's a spaceship. It's fine. Never, I'm working it out in my head. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm fine. So here we have artificial intelligence and that would be something fucking useful to have. So you can have like an AI like Edie, an advanced computer mainframe capable of running the ship when the crew is in cryo sleep, which we don't have to worry about because we don't need to worry about cryo sleep. But having like an artificial intelligence would be beneficial for like monitoring the ship, especially like when you're planet side. There's lots of attributes to weapons too. Air scrubbers, machinery needed to supply the crew with breathable air, and this is kind of life support, like you mentioned, creature. Carbon filters clean pollutants from the air, while churning machines electrolyze the water and generate oxygen. Air scrubbers come in many sizes and price levels depending on how many people they need to keep supplied. Cargo bay, I had put that, so an internal cargo bay to hold with external loading doors. Cargo doors are typically included, and large cargo bays include movable H-frame cranes to assist loading. So that's like if you're going to be doing like a lot of like ship would have 12 fingers. Too many. Why are there so many fingers on that ship? Why does that ship have fingers? Power low, yeah. And if you have like a cargo bay, I would say that you'd be able to, and this wouldn't be like, I don't know that I would make this like an additional upgrade, but you'd be able to have like the Mako if you had a cargo bay, so you'd be able to have something to travel planet side out with. The makings of a blockbuster in the cargo bay. Corporate suite, which I don't know that we would actually, maybe. So it's for spacious and luxurious area for top level company representatives. I don't know that we would actually use that. Cryo deck, again, we wouldn't have to use that. Docking umbilical, an airlock, and extendable umbilical tunnel that enables docking with other ships. That could be something that could be a cool upgrade to have. Emergency escape vehicles. So all ICC. So this is like evacuation pods. Galley, this is where you chow down on those prefab meals after weeks of hypersleep. It includes a simple kitchen refrigeration unit and a coffee maker. Capacity and cost of the galley depends on the size of the module. A hangar allows smaller ships to land in the belly of yours. I think that would be like super large to have. You want like a ship being inside of you. I like the idea of a custom Land Rover. It could have tank treads. And there are rats there for some reason, and there's smoke coming out of its mouth. Med lab, an infirmary and laboratory that typically includes surgical kits, med kits, and a selection of medical drugs. Salvage crane, a powerful crane mechanism that lets you salvage starship wrecks and space junk, pulling it into your cargo hold or attaching it to your tractor hitch. Science lab. And I think salvage crane would actually also work because in Mass Effect, when you're playing Mass Effect, you come across a lot of like these space wrecks that you have to go and explore. So I think that actually does work in terms of like Mass Effect setting. A ship inside a ship sounds a little sexual. I think construction of a group space or a group ship or base could be a great way to add tension without a TPK. Like having to start all over. You lose everything. Crazy. Science lab, a highly advanced laboratory where your scientists can examine specimens of alien life forms, among other things. The lab comes with an assortment of equipment, giving a plus to your modification. Again, like this is something that could be built in, like you get a +2 modification to your observation rolls when you are using the science lab. Tractor hitch allows you to connect your ship to a variety of huge external cargo modules. Vehicle bay, a glorified garage for ground vehicles. Again, that's would be like where the Mako could go. And here we have like everything kind of broken down. So like the air scrubbers, like if you have like 10 people, you know, you'll need to have like a size 1 air scrubber. And this is what we were talking about in terms of like having the different upgrades be listed in tiers. So like tiers 1 through 5. It's made of unobtainium, indestructible. Then we've got EEVs. This is kind of going through the different types of... Ooh. Man, I just love the... I love the designs for like the alien universe or like the ships and just like how like retro they feel. You might need special accommodations for alien crew. Like if you have like a Drell, if like one of you decides to be a Drell, you're gonna have to have special accommodations because the Drell need like humid environment. Might perform research on how to keep specific life forms alive. Alien ships are a little bit bigger than Mass Effect. What you mean, City? Oh yeah, dry environment. Hi, Bruin. Xenobiology. Yeah, the ships in the alien universe are huge. I mean, the ships in Mass Effect are huge too. Like if you like the end of Mass Effect 1 when you're seeing all of the ships go to the Citadel and like you realize like the Citadel's fucking enormous. But like you're seeing like the Normandy versus like the Asari Dreadnought is fucking huge. Okay, we have armaments. So there comes in 2 types: offensive weapon systems and defensive countermeasures. How these are used is explained later in the chapter. Armaments can be removed and replaced, and they're also divided into size categories. So I think that's also something that we can kind of, instead of like, saying that you have to like completely like deconstruct like your upgrades, like we can think of them as they're just modules that you can be removed from the ship. I'm about to fall asleep in this chair. Well, good night. ASAP missiles have low range, and then railgun, particle beam weapon, orbital mines, tactical nukes, laser array, sensor drones, sensor decoys. We've got all of these. Then we've got upgrades. Added hard points, which gives you add one more hard point to your ship of the same size as your current biggest hard point. Armored bulkheads, boosted displacement drives, enhanced sensors, external modules. Yeah, I feel like we can use like stealth technology. We're talking about that creature, like the cloaking. And I also regular maintenance. So every week, a member of your crew needs to make one heavy machinery roll and one comtech roll to service your ship. Especially if like you guys are like the only crew on your ship, like you need to make sure that your ship is still up and running. I like that. Dude, smack this, slap stop a ship. You can fit so much tech in here. Cynthia and I were on the same wavelength. Yeah, I really like this. I think I'm gonna look into this as well as the Vaesen one. I think I have like a pretty decent starting point. I think I'm gonna work a little bit on this off stream just because I tend to just chat and not actually like write a lot of the times. Yapping. But I think this is a really good starting point. It also kind of begs into the question of things like, so I had been thinking of having like these sort of secondary functions for, so you would have like you've got your species that you choose as well as your class. And I was also thinking of having a separate thing of like what your position is on the ship. So whether you're captain, pilot, just like a general crew member, weapon specialist, something like that. Because it would be nice that if everyone, cabin boy, it would be nice if everyone had sort of their own function on the ship, so that like if we're doing sort of downtime stuff, it would be nice that everyone would be able to kind of do their own thing and kind of play into their specialty. Has some cool mechanics too. The use of D8, D10, and D12 for more powerful items is a great example. I'm gonna have to look into that. I definitely I feel like Forbidden Lands has been mentioned a couple of times to me. But I think I'm liking where this is going. And I like that this is like, it can be a completely optional thing for people. Like if you don't want to put this much time and effort into thinking about your spaceship, you don't have to. But I think space is cool, and I want to build a cool spaceship. And I hope that other people also want to build a cool spaceship. But we're approaching 2 hours. So I think I'm gonna end it here so I don't get like super burnt out. Ooh, that's true. We could play some Forbidden Lands in the Discord too. I'll write that down. I have a little list going now of like all of the games to play like one shots for. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. A little bit of a shorter stream, but we're just vibing today. We're just kind of shooting the shit and trying to throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, truly. What's coming up the rest of the week? Tomorrow, we have no D&D, so I think that I will just be off. I'll probably be hanging in the Discord playing some Marvel Rivals tomorrow night because Joel has his game, so I'll be very quietly playing Marvel Rivals. Tuesday, we're back over on my channel. Dragon Age has ended, sadly. So I think we'll play, we'll find something to play. I have a couple of new games that I want to try out. Wednesday will be off. Thursday, I think we'll be back here. We'll probably be doing some more Mass Effect design. And then Friday off, and then probably Saturday actually playing Mass Effect. Cinnabunny. But if you want to get an actual detailed schedule for when I actually post a schedule, feel free to hop into the Discord. We do a lot over in the Discord. We chat, we play TTRPGs together, we hang out and game together. If you ever see us in the general voice chat, feel free to hop in. We're usually playing Marvel Rivals or just associating. We watch movies. Next movie, I think the next movie night, I kind of want to do, because Chunky's going to be running the Jurassic Park one-shot on the 15th. I think the next movie night will be the 14th, and we'll be watching Jurassic Park 2, Lost World. So we'll be watching that to gear up. So if you want to come watch movies and hang out, feel free. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.